Hello, adventurers. It is Tuesday night, and we are talking about Gencon 2025. We're going to be going there this year, as we usually do, and we're going to be focusing on playing Dungeons and Dragons. But first, a little background about Gencon. Gencon 2025 is scheduled to run from July 31st to August 30th at the Indiana Convention Center in the Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. Known as the best 4 days of gaming, Gen Con has become the largest and most influential tabletop gaming convention in North America. It draws tens of thousands of fans from around the world, offering a jam-packed lineup of activities, including board games, role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons, collectible card games, live action role-playing, that's LARPing, cosplay, workshops, seminars on game design, storytelling, and more. Its massive exhibit halls features hundreds of vendors debuting new projects, offering sneak peeks, and connecting directly with the community. The roots of Gen Con trace back to 1968, where it was founded by Gary Gygax, co-creator of Dungeons and Dragons. The original gathering took place in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, hence the name Gen Con, short for Geneva Convention. Over time, the con grew in scale, moved to Milwaukee in 1985, and finally found a permanent home in Indianapolis in 2003. With more than 70,000 attendees in 2024, it remains a pillar of gaming culture, constantly evolving alongside the industry it's helped shape. So this year, we're all going as a good group, Dark Alchemy, Dungeon Master Evanson, and some other friends. But we want to focus more on the Dungeons and Dragons aspect. So Dave here has his list. I'm sorry, Dave has his website up for Gen Con, and he's going to go over some of the Dungeons and Dragons stuff. So DM Evanson, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us what you're looking to do at Gen Con 2025?
Thanks. Hello, everyone. DM Evanson, DM for this gentleman right now. And this year we are looking to do a lot more role playing. So last year was more of a refresher year for me, at least. I haven't been to Gen Con in a while, so it's good to be back. And would like to play this year a little more. So we are looking, at least our gaming group are looking for more than just, I guess, an intro gaming. We don't need that. We don't need that itch. We get that. So we're looking for a little more high level gameplay, whether it may cost a little more because of terrain, or maybe they give away stuff. Or
also some people are famous, so they can demand more and charge more. That girl Ginny D has a YouTube channel. She is running a game that is with a large group. And then also, you pointed out there's some independent game masters who just, I don't know, maybe they're not famous from YouTube, but they just demand a lot of money because maybe of the setup.
Yeah, I mean, they might have elaborate setups with, lights, smoke. Who knows? People go pretty big. Depending on what they're doing. I know, like the one we did had maps and printouts, handouts, so it's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. So it's always nice to see them going a little extra, especially for the big con. There are also many that are using older editions and such. So when we go jumping over to, let me get over here.
We have Doom Driver jumping on to watch us live. Nice. Doom Driver is one of our friends, and check out his YouTube channel for his awesome heavy metal music. You can use it for fantasy or just enjoy. If you need to rock out, follow a Doom Driver on his YouTube channel.
Hell yeah, I got to check that out. Need some background music about rocking out. So there are right now, they update every day, but there are currently 1,198 Dungeons and Dragon events. But in that mix is the 5th ed, 1st ed, 3.5, and other variations, 4th ed and such.
Yeah.
So you got to be a little mindful of checking out underneath. Each one has the edition right underneath. So we break it down by, for at least for us. At least the first day, we spent it basically walking around, getting dealer's floor out of the way. So no one's really playing, at least in the first day, unless the evening. But for now, I'm just going to look at Friday.
Well, let me jump in for 1 second and just say we've gone the past couple of years. Gen Con consists of the convention center, which is large within itself. Then there's, I don't know how many hotels, 12, 15 hotels connected to it with different walkways. Every hotel basically has their own rooms where stuff's going on: author interviews, workshops, longsword fencing, how to make a chainmail dice bag, other games, auctions. And then there's a walkway with, I don't know, 50, 100 pinball machines that lead to Lucas Oil Stadium. And you go to Lucas Oil Stadium, and the entire stadium is covered with board games and all these independent gaming groups. We had the Ottawa Red Shirts, which unfortunately not coming this year, but last year they did the Monster Mash for D&D, which was amazing. DM Evanson's pulling up a map here. That's awesome. And then under or somewhere within the stadium, they do a live dungeon. I think they go into the locker rooms in the side hallways. And it's just that's the Lucas Oil Stadium. If you're watching on YouTube, if it's on the podcast, you won't be able to see it. But if you're listening on the podcast, it's 20,000 steps a day for 4 days, and you might not see everything.
There was a YouTuber that walks around a lot. I was watching him. He does a lot of God, I can't remember his name right now. Give him a proper nod. But he does a lot of Gencon stuff and board gaming. And he said he did 80 miles walking. And I was like, that's insanity. I mean, he's a young guy, but still.
We did. I mean, it's 5 to 8 a day, 24 miles in 3 days. I mean, I guess it's possible if you want to see everything. And also around there, there's all the food places. There's the food trucks. You're going outside. Dave, I know you probably did 5,000 steps just to get coffee every day.
Oh yeah, easily. Easily.
All right, yeah. So bring us through maybe one of the first D&D.
So I found a few interesting ones. This one, I believe, your characters will be level 20. I saw that right away, and I said, "Ooh, what is this?"
Yes.
This is a mad dragon. So I'm sacrificing. You got to stop him from doing some bad stuff, from ascending to godhood. I imagine Age of Black Dragon. There's a lot. But this is what has very well description. Actually, this is 7th levels. Sorry, I haven't read all of them, but
so it's 3 players minimum, 7 players maximum.
Yeah.
So there's an ancient black dragon preparing to ascend to greater wormhood. He's planning a grand ritual that will empower him, sacrificing everybody on the continent. That's a lot of people. Yeah. Probably more than going to Gencon. The greatest level 20 heroes of myth and legend have been called together to stop the ceremony and slay Venadath, the Vengeful. That's the dragon. So I believe in the description or the other description, it says you can bring your level 20 characters, and there's a list of magic items you can bring. So, bring your favorite character, level 20. It gets reviewed by their dungeon master to make sure you're within their rule set, and you really get to, have a powerful group of characters that can really blast and try to fight this dragon.
I like this feature they have where you can click on it now, and it'll take you to exactly where it is.
So you click, and this is a perfect example of how big it is. This adventure takes place in the JW Marriott Hotel in one of the side rooms, which is across the street from the convention center, connected by a walkway. It's not even in the main hall. It's in one of the side rooms. Now, Dave, can you explain how you actually get the tickets? They have Gencon has a certain system on getting this tickets. There's 7 spots available for this game, 6 hours long, but you kind of have to sign up for it through their Gencon ticketing system.
Yeah, so you could click on a name to add. You could buy for yourself. You could buy for everyone in your list. You could buy for just yourself. You could buy for like 3 people. And then you would add it to right now a wish list. And then boom, we'd go into a wish list. You could click your wish list. Right now, there's a countdown until it all gets processed. It all gets processed basically at the same time. And then it does priority. So you could be like, this is the first thing I want to attempt to fill. And then once you fill that, then fill this, then fill this. So there's a chance that you don't get it, but
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, so our wish list might have 15, 20 games on it.
Yeah.
And to get filled in priority order, and we might get 3 of them. So some of the bigger events in the stadium might hold 200, 300, 800 people for some of the reveals, but this particular one is a 6-hour game, 7 people. The first 7 that get it, that's it, sold out. So out of 70,000 people, 7 people are going to be able to fight this dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they do run them a lot. So like this particular scenario is at 8. They might run it again at like noon, and then they get at 4. Or so it's a matter of just looking. But then there's the others that are a little vaguer in description. I mean, explore the cat. I mean, I guess this is a classic B1 module, so I guess there's not one to put in, but maybe they just assume people know.
So this is In Search of the Unknown. Explore the caverns of I can't pronounce it. Quas Queston. Explore the caverns of Quas Queston, formerly the lair of Rohan the Fearless and Zelgar the Unknown, the classic B1 module. Was the B1 series to keep on the Borderlands, do you think?
I'm guessing is it this?
I have to look it up. What'd you click on? Did you just search that separately?
Yeah.
So for those of us listening on the podcast, DM Evanson just pulled up this adventure, and he's showing us, and I love these. I really do. This is the classic blue map. It's like printed on the inside of a book. I can almost smell the old paper. And the way these dungeons were laid out, who knows? You could have an orc next to a dragon, next to a beholder. We had this discussion in previous podcasts about the layout and how it's changed, and it's made more sense in modern day. But so he took an old module. And is this going to be 5th edition? Do we see that information on there?
This one
game system. So Dave, it says Dungeons and Dragons. So we don't know what system it is. Oh, rules edition right under it. BECMI. What does that mean? We have no idea.
I don't know. Great question.
Does anybody on our chat know what
I feel like we should know what that is.
Well, being professional D&D people, we should, but we do not know what that means.
It's probably the old original rules.
Okay. So what edition are you looking forward to playing, Dave?
The current.
Oh, actually, what's it called? We have thank you, Doom Driver, Basic Expert Companion. So those are the different colored books. Wow, yeah. So that was the red, the blue, and the black. The books had different colors. So thank you for that pro tip. Doom has been around since those editions, I think, just like we have. So he has that awesome insight. That's much appreciated.
Nice. So the next one I saw was Ambers of Eternity. It's 12th level. It is 5th edition. Yes, 5th edition rules, 6 players, and it's a 4-hour session, I believe.
Well, let's take a look at that description here. It's run by the Company of Gamers. So
they're doing a lot too.
These different groups volunteer to run the different events. The Hammers of Moradin in the dwarven city of Beamor, excuse me if I'm butchering these names, are calling for aid to eradicate the Legion of Devils from the 9 hells and reclaim their sacred shrine. A 12th level D&D one-shot adventure that is 13 plus, so they did give it an age range, and they said it's going to be 5th edition, 4 to 6 players. So what edition are you excited to play, Dave? Are you looking for the older editions? You want to stick with the new editions?
Yeah, the new edition, whether it's the 2014 or the 2024. I don't really care. I would hope they would be the 2024. I don't know if they put 5th ed and they mean the 2024 or if they mean the 2014. Because there are some that are marked as 5th ed. There are some that are marked as 5th ed 2024. There are some that are marked 4th, 3.5. So I don't know also if, so put 5th, but they mean the newest, I don't know if it's an easy misclick or if I'm sure if I'm really care, I'm sure I could contact them. And luckily, there's usually a game master's name, and then or a website that you can use to get hold of the gaming group in some form or another. But I am looking to do a higher level though, so preferably like 7th level or above. Just because we all do lower level stuff. So
what do you think is some of the good level steps? So I think when you're starting out in a new adventure, you do first or third level, right? Because first level is just super basic. Third level, you get your subclass. I think fourth level is a big stepping stone to get your first feat, or maybe a second feat if you're a human. But third and fourth level subclass, and then a feat to take. So above fourth level, what do you think is kind of the level progression or the stepping stones that you like to see played? Is it 12th? Is it 20th? Is it somewhere in between?
Man, it depends on the class, really. Certain classes shine in between certain levels, or they start getting all their cool stuff. Yeah. I just like that higher end play because it's rarer. Most campaigns end around 13, or most modules pre-written are in that sweet spot between 1 and 13. So to have one in that higher would be a nice exercise of I get to create a character that's 3 months ahead. I get to think about it, and then to really have a good feel for the character before I even get to play it, and then get to experience
level 7. I mean, if you don't want to go to level 20, level 17 is a big stepping stone too. There's a lot of single classes that at level 17 they get.
Yeah, that's a big one too.
A fairly powerful ability. I think the Warlock one was like travel through hell or something. And my Warlock never got there, but I wanted to be able to do that. So if I was able to play Roy Angamar, one of my favorite characters, I would consider playing him at level 20. And I got to say, Dave, even with the ones popping up, like the level 20 Dragon one, that could be something we could do within our own gaming group. We can do a one shot.
Oh yeah, but it's always nice to see how other people do it.
Yeah,
their take on it, their spin. Their a DM might have a new way of doing a battlefield that you never thought of, and it gives you an idea. Then you go home and do it for your friends. But yeah, absolutely. 12th level or higher would be great.
Let me try to share a screen here if I can.
I also have the Dresden one if you want to look.
Oh, that's the one I want to share. Can you bring up the Dresden one?
This one particular one is Neutral Grounds.
Neutral Grounds. So I have been looking at the Dresden Files. Anybody who doesn't know, the Dresden Files is a series of books about Harry Dresden, who is a private detective wizard in modern day Chicago. He's an actual wizard, but it's the first book, Stormfront, I think starts in the year 2000 and kind of goes from there. And he, as a wizard, he fights all sorts of supernatural creatures. It's one of my favorite series. I've read it twice so far. I'm a huge fan of it. We actually recently played the Dresden role-playing game, which was a Kickstarter in 2010, and it used the Fate Core system. So Fate Core is much different than D&D. Everybody has 4 sets of dice. It's 4 6-sided dice. A 1 and 2 is a negative. A 3 and 4 is a blank, and a 5 and 6 is a plus. So you have a ladder system where you have to roll dice and hit a certain target number. But their magic system is, tell me what you want to do. I want to tear down the Empire State Building. Well, that's going to be hard. I want to throw a fireball. Well, that's going to be easy. But it's too open. So it looks like they have the Dresden Files using the 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons system. And I was very curious to see how that was going to play out.
Yeah, I would like this. More curious how he handles if there's how flushed out the rules are, or if it's just like good enough for a one shot, or if there's like rules for like true naming and stuff like that.
So in this particular one, the Dresden Files Neutral Grounds, which is a little bit of a take on a accorded neutral territory, which is something in the book where it's almost like holy ground for Highlander. You can't fight there because it's a neutral ground. But in this case, the short description is troubles arise when a local shop reports a missing employee who was last going to Never event. No, the Never Never. Sorry. The Never Never is like the Fate land. The longer description is Allison Rage, a local coffee shop owner and a minor practitioner of the arts, reaches out to the Conclave, which is the magical wizards that Dresden would work for, with concerns after an emissary she sent to the Never Never for one of the special ingredients was not returned. Roleplay is highly encouraged and pre-gens is supplied. So this takes place in probably modern day using D&D, but now you're going into a fantasy land, almost like the Feywilds.
Yeah.
Another one that they had, which I thought was more interesting, somebody gets kidnapped from Chicago and I think ends up in Neverwinter. So again, it seems like you're starting in a modern place and you're going into a Dungeons and Dragons type of world. But I mean, I'm going to try to, I think, sign up for one of these. It is a 5-hour block of time, which that's a pretty good block of time to play. I don't know how much time I want to take away from the actual event, but if I had a choice, I think the Dresden Files 1 and D&D is going to be on the top of my list, especially having played the Fate Core system.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm interested in that. It looks pretty cool. I hope it's as cool as it sounds, at least. That's the one.
So what else do we have, Dave?
Well, besides that, I really haven't dived too deep. There was that other one I found. I'm just trying to find it. I can't remember where it is. The actual level 21. Maybe you could find. I don't know where I shared that one, but it was a scenario where everyone makes a level 20 character. You min-max it. Make the best level 20 you can. And then basically you're fighting like Ed Gabe stuff, and he's throwing the craziest shit he can at you. Trying to basically wipe out the party. So you're supposed to like really, I think you get like 5K in expenses.
It's gonna be similar to the Dragon one. Let me see if I can pull up this here. Beetle and Grimm is a gaming company, and they have Faster Purple Worm Kill live show. So you can actually see a live play, and this is max audience 800. So this is one people might be able to get in if they want to actually watch a live play of Faster Purple Worm. And you have that shirt, Dave, so you're a fan?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to either catching a live play or participating in one. That'd be cool.
Can you tell me anything about Purple Worm off the top of your head or that company?
They have a nice scenario for this Faster Worm, Purple Worm, and they'd be going around doing live shows with it, with different people. I haven't seen the live show, but I've heard a lot of a bit about it. But it looks good.
So the description here is 4 intrepid first level characters go up against an epic D&D monster on an unpredictable journey to meet their heroic demise. The show's host, live musician, and audience participation add to the fun. Come and witness this Gencon live show of Faster Purple Worm Kill, and leave your notions of heroes always win at the door. Cast include Matthew Lillard, Iffy Nadawin, and other TTRPG luminaries who will be announced closer to the show.
Yeah, Dave, Iffy is a big YouTuber. He was on Dimension 20. He was on. He's in that Vice guide of the same Critical Role. They all know each other. He also does a lot of magic stuff on EDH on YouTube. And then Matt is a famous actor. He's been in tons of stuff. But
Dave, did you see the live show in Manhattan? Did you go?
No.
20-sided Tavern.
Oh, that one. Yeah, there was recently the Dimension 20 did a live show at Madison Square Garden. So,
no, I was talking about the 20-sided Tavern.
Yeah, that is the Broadway play or Broadway show, I should say. 20-sided Tavern. I did go to that. That was fun.
Do you think the audience participation might be the same? They'll have some sort of phone setup.
I don't think it'll be that. I mean, well, it's 800. I don't know. I don't think it's that kind of a show. I think it's more of a maybe yell out suggestions, or it might be. I don't know, man. It might be like this. Whoever gets the most. Do we do this and people cheer? Do we do that and people cheer? I'm not sure. I doubt it's that technology driven, because that seems like a lot. You had an app, and then they had like results. They had they would calculate live. I I don't recall them having any setup like that or anyone having a mobile app during the show
Can you can you
that I
talk
saw.
can you talk about your experience with the mobile app in Manhattan at the
Yeah, it
Silver
was.
Spur
I think
Tavern?
it was just a basic website. It was or a QR code, I believe. You walked in, you were given wherever, depending where you're sitting, or just depending on, I guess, maybe how you came in. They gave you a random tote bag, or your group a tote bag, that basically had your Broadway play booklet, and then it also had like what color team you're on, and then you scan that QR code, and I think it was like the green team, the which was like the rogue, and then there was like the blue, the warrior, and the red, and yada yada.
Yeah.
So we were the green team. So when we voted for like the green person. If there was something only for the green person to, hey, should this person do this or do that? And then you scan the QR code, it brought you to a website, and then almost seconds while they were asking the question, it was popping up on the screen, and then you had to vote. It was a little fast, where it was like, all right, and the votes are in, they're in. I was like, whoa.
Oh wow,
So
yeah. I
people
mean,
were like on
well,
it fast. So I was like, whoa. Sometimes you got to be on it.
mhm.
But it was a cool show. It was neat. It was always different. They always had a different guest, and so that was cool. And the guest they had was Neil. God, forgetting his name. Nielsen, the voice
Okay.
of the vampire from Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, okay. Asturian. Yeah,
Historian.
he's become very popular lately. I've seen him on a bunch of stuff, and everybody seems to love him, especially when he's flirty and his accents. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
He had lost his voice. He caught whatever that virus that was going around during the holiday season when everybody was getting sick, and he like lost his voice completely. But he was a trooper, and he stayed in, and he had like a fever, and he looked a little pale.
wow.
But
Yeah.
he was a trooper, and he still was the highlight of the show in a sense. He put on a great performance. So yeah, I
Well,
mean, it'd be cool to see more and more stuff like that. I had never gone to a show at Gen Con. I'd be totally up for it because
yeah.
after a day of walking around, I wouldn't mind just taking 4 hours or 3 hours off my feet and sit down, watch a show. And you know what? If the show sucks, you get up and you leave.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a good point. Like we talked about walking 20,000 steps a day, just doing miles. So if you can break up your day with a game, or break up your day with one of these live event plays, even the 1 hour seminars are good. There was a bunch of 1 hour seminars. We took some world building seminars at Adepticon, which was great. We really enjoyed that. I'm looking forward to some writing seminars. There's actually even a grant. There's actually a grant writing seminar, how to write grants. So if you want to kind of bring Dungeons and Dragons into public education, you could write a grant and maybe get some money to present it somewhere. But here's an example of a game that's being run that does not have a lot of information. And you said you've been seeing this a lot.
Mm.
It gives you the name of the company, the Rising Phoenix Gaming Club. I have no idea where they are. The title is Across the Realms, #2, Gnome Planet. And the description is Fight the Evils and Quest on the Gnome Planet. 3.5, 10-player max, 18 plus, no experience, 4 hours. So, I mean, I don't know if I was jumping into that. What am I jumping into? Is it? Am I a gnome? Is it all gnomes? Am I fighting gnomes? Do gnomes creep me out?
It's almost like, is this person that famous that they just did it, and then, or they have a niche group and they just like, oh.
Well, maybe I'm reading this wrong because it says you actually have to. This is the second play, so maybe I can find the first play.
Oh, okay.
This is
Yeah.
number 2. What do we have?
There are a few of those that are part 1, part 2, part 3, and they're done like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or there's Friday, Saturday. Those are cool, but that's a dedication. They're like 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. and they're a good 4 hours or more every day. And if it wasn't so early on a Thursday, I'd probably do it. But Thursday morning, I like to hit that dealer floor. So,
But I searched Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we only have across.
excuse me.
Oh, it's across the realms. I wrote across the gnome. So this is kind of the search system up here on the board. It's a bunch of green boxes, and you can put the date in, and you can search by name. You can search events that have sold out. We have Across the Realms #1. That's a Friday night game. And let's see if that has more information. You are kidnapped on your first adventure and have to escape your slavers. 3.5. You don't really hear the slave word much anymore, so I guess in 3.5 Rules Edition it was okay. And the gnomes are enslaved, no experience necessary. And nope, the rules will be taught. Just bring dice. Just bring dice. And there'll be plenty of dice for sale at Gen Con, I'm sure. So you can have a whole pocket full. And that's actually in the stadium. So you're going to be in Lucas Oil Stadium, which is huge. And there are folding tables everywhere. So you'll be somewhere in a stadium on a Friday night trying to escape with your gnomes.
Nice. Check this out.
Let me remove mine, Dave, and you'll throw yours up. Okay, what do you have for us?
This is another one of the trilogy. This is a D&D Experience at Gen Con, Legends of Greyhawk trilogy. So this is tickets for 3 play sessions. This includes a VIP playing area. So this is going to be in the Lucas Oil Stadium. So when you remember we were in there and you were looking down into the stadium, you had basically the VIP press boxes that those are turned into those $2,000 tickets for NFL Sunday morning, VIP booths are turned into these D&D rooms, which is awesome. I mean, it's a little pricey. This particular one is going for $140, but I believe that covers the 3-day session. I don't think it's $140 for each session. It also might be $140 for each session.
Okay,
but,
can you scroll back up? Let's see here.
Sorry.
This ticket is for a 3 play sessions. This ticket is for 3 play sessions, so $140 for 3 sessions. This includes the acquired a VIP playing area, like you said. That's the Lucas Oil Stadium premium boxes with the best dungeon masters at the show. I mean, I don't know who they are, but they're the best.
I'm sure they are, actually. But yeah,
this is a complete story in the best way to play it. Greyhawk trilogy levels 1 to 4. Start at 1, go to 4 by the end of it. This ticket is for 3 play sessions during the weekend: Friday 9 a.m., Saturday 9 a.m., and Sunday at noon. You'll play the same characters and the DM with same characters and DM all 3 sessions. During those sessions, you will play all of the adventures listed in order. This includes acquired VIP playing areas. So the sessions are Legends of Greyhawk, Shadows over the Free City. Oh, it's Legends of Greyhawk with the following 3 adventures. Excuse me. Shadows over the Free City, session 1. Swords in the Shadows is session 2. And the track exclusive, I guess this is a special adventure written just for the con, Murder Amongst Thieves. And this is all in the Greyhawk setting. Would you want to dedicate that much time, Dave?
Not this year, but I'd be up for it. Like if we were like, hey, let's do a 3-day session, and we knew like, oh, we really like that Greyhawk setting, or we heard, this DM is great, or that, maybe the VIP room is so fucking awesome. I'd be up for it. I mean, again, it's only 4 hours every day, so you still got the whole day.
You are starting at 9. The dealer's hall isn't open until 10. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. So you play 9 to 1. 1 o'clock, you leave. There might even be some food in those boxes. I'm not sure.
But you also get the food in the stadium, and then you gotta pass the food in the stadium, and then you gotta go outside, past the food trucks, past the block party, and then that's food, and then you go back to inside. So it's
that's a little pro tip for Gen Con 2025.
Yeah.
The food trucks have moved around over the years. Last year and for a while, they've been between the convention center and right outside the stadium, and there was 30, 40, 50 food trucks lined up. We had some good food. We had some barbecue, and we had some breakfast sandwiches, and there was coffee over there.
Great little steak sandwiches that were like
marinated
and
then there was another area. what was the other area? It was right outside. It was right outside the convention center, and that was kind of
Yeah, where they
they
had
had,
the block
they had
party area.
oh, it was called the block party. They had
Yeah,
music and drinks, and
yeah, and then they
it
had
wasn't so
also
much of
some cooking outside. There was some
yeah,
food, basic stuff, and
yeah,
some junk food as well. And
yeah.
they had a little coffee thing out there as well, and a soda machine. You could buy a nice fancy like mug that's like medieval looking, and then basically you got free refills all weekend. So, and they had like a little chain you could like hook to your belt, and then your mug would stay on your hip all day, and then whenever you needed a drink, you went outside and got a free refill.
The mug was fairly expensive, but I mean, if
I
you're
think it was
walking
like
around,
25, 30, right?
oh, it's not too bad then.
Oh,
And you can
the,
refill it all
the one
weekend.
the one by the Long Island con we went to was that price. So maybe this one's a little bit more, but it's 4 days, so
Yeah,
you could spend that $50 yeah, like that on drinks.
it's a long tradition of LARPers who like to carry their mugs around. So make sure you have a sturdy belt and you clip your mug on, and you will not go thirsty. It's the magic item, the ever flowing mug of root beer.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah. Did you have a favorite non Dungeons and Dragons thing at the convention? Um, I enjoyed the dealer's room and just trying the board games in general. And a couple times we even just did the board game rental area or borrow area, and we did a few pickup games here and there with people who were at Gencon and just played. One time we did Werewolf, and Werewolf was like all the time. If you died in one Werewolf game, then you just go to the next Werewolf game. Did you have something that stood out for you?
I loved walking the deals floor, seeing that there was a new game. You could demo it right on the dealer's floor, and it's usually the creator's partner, the artist, or the creator's family members are teaching
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
and they're passionate and they know the rules, and they got to show you, hey, here's a quick 2 rounds,
yeah.
get you a little taste of the game, and then from there you either buy it or you go, that wasn't for me, or then you keep going on, or you go, that was a cool mechanic, or and just talking with people in that regard is my favorite. The board game aspect is like just touching that a little bit is always fun, and just seeing all the crazy crap they got. When they blow board games up to like giant size is always fun.
There was Settlers of Catan. I saw a giant Settlers of Catan.
Yeah,
I saw
Galaxy Truckers, Diplomacy, and
Oh yeah, the diplomacy one. There was a giant diplomacy board, and they had like these pieces of wood to slide the stuff around, and I think this made you smile really big, Dave. The diplomacy board for each country had their own general's helmet.
yes,
So the Germans had the spiky helmet, the French had like a beret, the British had like this commander's hat. That was pretty
and
cool.
all the ships and the tanks and the soldiers were all blown up, so they were like decent size, and then everyone was given a stick to move them all. So you had like the general sticks, so that everyone's like standing around the map, and like because it was huge, it was like 20 feet by 10 feet or something,
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely awesome. So
Now, unfortunately, the Ottawa Red Shirts will not be this year due to the political climate. They were coming from Canada, and I'm really going to miss them. I've played their Monster Mash 2 years in a row. So let me paint a picture. Maybe you could try to pull it up, Dave, a picture of the Monster Mash, the Ottawa Red Shirts. I'm not sure if you can, but I'll try to paint a picture. Dungeons and Dragons free for all, 24 players at the same time. There is a dungeon master running
now
it.
the Ottawa Red Shirts are going to be there, just not all of them.
Oh, so they're not running the Monster Mash, but they will be there.
Because if you type in
some of the Ottawa Red Shirts are on the United States side.
Yeah, or they're just maybe they can't bring everything because of
the restrictions, unfortunately,
or just space. Trucks. Maybe they like, oh, we can't bring 2 trucks this year. We can only bring 1. And some of that bigger one, did take up 2 tables worth of stood.
Well, let me paint that picture for you. There's a large table, and Everybody gets a 3.5 edition Dungeon Dragons character. I had Olmo Lightfoot, which is a halfling, which I was upset about getting. I'm like, get this little halfling. This guy's going to suck. He's got a magic sling, 10 points damage.
You were
I'm gonna
so
get wiped.
sad.
I'm going to get wiped out, right? I ended up winning. Spoiler alert. That made me very proud to have a little beholder statue, a little beholder trophy. So the board is fairly big and it's all custom made. I think it's resin cast, not really 3D printed. 24 characters, and everybody has a character sheet with their abilities. They usually have one close combat and one ranged ability, and then some other built-in stuff. And one of our characters was a purple worm, like he was a purple worm monster. I'm a halfling. Lord Soth the Death Knight was there. There was the avatar of Hastur. There was there was some regular elves and dwarves. And when the dungeon master picks your card with the picture on it and the name, he'll call it out. He'll be like, "Oh, Purple Worm, it's your turn. On deck is the avatar, and the next guy on deck is the halfling." And then if you're far enough away where there's no possible way you can be attacked, you'll fight on one side of the board, and then somebody else will fight on the other side of the board. The action slows down if the characters are kind of close together, and they have to slow the initiative down. And as people die, the game goes faster.
And I like the way that it also forces the one main rule is you always had to go towards the closest enemy, so you can't I'm gonna hide or I'm gonna you always so you kind of sometimes forced you out to the open, and you had to make do with what you got. But it was funny because at the end of that 24-man dungeon, it was the 4 people we came with were the last 4 people alive. And then I killed the purple worm. You killed me, and then you killed Scott, and then you won. It was amazing.
Yeah, so that's actually a game I'd like to.
Here's the red shirts. They're doing this red shirt smash. Don't know what it is. Fighters combat in space. Sounds cool. Silent death game system. 3 to 12 people.
Oh, okay. I know exactly what that is too. I'm going to tell you.
Great.
Let me just pull up. Let me just pull up this picture here for those people who are watching along. This is the bigger board. So, funny story. Ottawa Red Shirts had a 24 version, and then anybody who won, because they were playing it all day, anyone who won that was invited to the 48, and they had a 48 player version. And that was on the big board next to it. And that took hours. The Silent Death is a game system that was a hex-based system. It was much smaller. And you had a spaceship. And basically, if I'm remembering this correctly, small, medium, large ship, everybody starts with small. When a small ship kills 2 medium, when a small ship kills 2 other smalls, it becomes medium. When the medium ship kills 2 other mediums, it becomes large. So your ship kept getting bigger as you killed a certain number of ships until there was one left. So
I just found it. It's actually on the tab on the left.
I'm going to pull mine down and remove. And you want to present that, Dave? Yep, that's the one. That's Silent Death. Yeah, so this club...
What an amazing club, by the way.
Amazing club. I can't say enough good things about them.
They make rules up for everything. They create these concepts. They create these funky looking ships.
Well, this is an actual game, Dave.
All right. I know all the other ones they made up.
But they made the Monster Mash made up. But Silent Death is an actual game. But what they did is it's huge. It's life size. So it covers like two 6-foot tables. And they had to make all these ships and paint them. So this is part of the gaming club coming together to actually create an awesome, full-size tabletop game. And I think, that's the smaller Monster Mash. That's a 24 player. Oh, I forgot to mention. So they actually have a viewing stand where all the creatures, sit, all the characters and creatures.
These are all the potential people that can
people you can be. And I think they had more than 24 actual characters, and they assign them to you randomly, so you could not play all the same characters twice.
Yeah,
I think, Dave, this is a project I want to work on and I want to create, and I think if we
It was
brought this
so
to
simple, but yet so much fun. I had such a good
how,
time.
how about this? We bring this to the Necromantic Brewing Company because they got big tables there, and we offer a Monster Mash night. $5-10 to play. You get a trophy and you get a free beer with it, just to draw people into the bar. Because I know he runs board games and he runs D&D, and I think
Yeah, I
maybe
did
runs
see that.
Cthulhu.
I actually started following that because I saw there was a bunch of events, and there was like a murder mystery thing coming up soon at the
Yeah.
South Shore Brewery as well.
Yeah,
So yeah, it'd be cool to do.
yeah. I would run the Monster Mash just to get out there and spread the love of D&D to the drinking people and the beer lovers.
Yeah, and then we also did the what was the other game we did that they had?
So we played Alice in Wonderland, which
There
was
it
a
is.
total homebrew game. And Alice in Wonderland had 4 sections. They had the Queen's Court, they had a garden, they had the caves. And that was so weird because it was all homebrew rules. And we had to jump around the different realms grabbing stuff. We would get randomly attacked. And I enjoyed that one. It was not any
Yeah, I
rules
forgot
that
if they had this there. Remember that?
they also had a giant pirate ship where you fought on multiple levels. And this is home brew, home construction at its best. I
Yeah.
mean, this is paper and cardboard and wood and just made with love. So, yeah. So
I
check
love
out.
this that because like that's such a cool concept. Something different. It's not like, oh, it's that game. I know how to beat it. It's just like, what the heck is this? You find all the silly rules and then you play the
Yeah.
scenario out, and it's just silly. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's something refreshing.
I don't have the link listed here. This was just kind of an off the cusp type of night. We were just talking about Gen Con 2025 tonight. But if you're listening and you have a chance, just do a search on Google for the Ottawa Red Shirts. That's the Ottawa Red Shirts.
Yeah.
Shout out to them. They don't even know we're filming this or recording this tonight. They just have some great pictures up and just real interesting stuff. They had some other D&D type of crawl where it was a big circle and it was a giant cavern and there were crystals in the cavern and you had to go around and collect the crystals. I didn't have a chance to play that one. And I don't know if they were running it or somebody else, but pretty close to them was Space Hulk. But the Space Hulk table from Warhammer was about, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 feet long. And it was a 20-player Space Hulk game. I might try to sign up for that too. Trying to focus on D&D, but I do like the Space Hulk rules. And that board was just amazing because it was so big you could actually have giant monsters in it instead of just
Found it. Bring me your demigod.
Okay. So bring us into that day. Bring me your demigod, Dungeons and Dragons.
So bring me your 20th level, 20th crazy characters for this epic one shot. What's the adventure? I'm not telling you. At this level, should be able to handle a few surprises. I already love the description.
It actually says that. It says,
yeah.
I'm not telling you the adventure. You should be able. That's great.
Haven't been able to get your favorite character to level 20 or your DMs that have some crazy build you've never been able to play? Well, this is your game. Bring me your mid-max builds to face off in this epic one-shot for experienced players. I mean, it's Yumi and Scott, I feel like, would benefit from this the most because
we'd have to make the 20th level characters beforehand.
Yeah, that's even better. So you can check out his link for photos and videos of past events and ideas for us to also go with. So maybe you could maybe get an idea of what might happen. The characters could use any race, class, or backgrounds in the basic books, no homebrew or out of universe stuff. The standard array build for your ability, your ability score. And then for equipment, you can either do the gold or just a standard equipment, and then you also may spend 5K on non-magical equipment, and then take 20 points of magical items for the following rules: 1 point common, 3 points for uncommon, 5 points for rare, and 7 points for very rare, and 10 points for legendary. Again, published magic items only. Fantastic! So you get tons of magic items to choose from. You get to make a 20th level character, which is, I mean, the rarest thing of them all. We're in a campaign now that's going to level 20. So if you were like, man, I hope this build I like is going to be fun at level 20, bam, let's build it now. And then you could be like, what if I multi-class? What would that be like at level 20? Bam, you can check it out now.
There you go.
I know Scott was wondering, he was debating between, doing a paladin mix or doing a or
Divine
a
Soul
rogue.
Sorcerer dipping into Paladin.
But now you could test it out at this thing and then really get a nice taste of what that might be. And you know what? To be honest with you, I, as a DM, have never done level 20 shit. So I wouldn't mind experiencing level 20 stuff to know what I'm gonna see once I bring my players.
So Dave, make sure to sign us up, and it's got to be the first pick. There's not that many spots available. I'm in.
Yeah.
So two important notes here. One, it is a 2014 rule set for this particular one, so we have to take a step back to 2014.
Not a big deal.
Not a big deal. Two, standard array is a certain amount of ability scores, but by the time you're level 20, I think even in the 2014 rule set, you add feats and you'll be able to bump those ability scores up. So if you're starting with one ability score at 15, you could probably have it up to 18 or 20 by picking the right feats that will give you those +1, +2 bonuses, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh, yeah. You could get level 20. I mean, if you roll good enough. Oh, no, standard right there.
Now, they are asking for experience. They want you to know the rules and play regularly. You can't be level 20 and be like, what does my character do?
This is my first time. Or
when you have six pages of abilities.
Yeah, I built him last night.
in the car on the way here, right?
Yeah, that's one, like, if we get it, like, I'm gonna look forward to meeting with you two and building characters. Like, let's try this, let's try that.
Well, you know who it's gonna be. It's Roy Angamar, the Tiny Flame.
I love it.
Went all the way to level 20.
Yeah.
And I don't think Scott's going to want to be my brother on that particular one. He left me.
Probably not.
He left me to die. What would you run, Dave? Level 20.
Yeah,
What's your
kind
of
know.
dream character?
I don't know if I'd run my first level character that I ever played and make him level 20 just for the hell of it, or if I.
What was that?
That was a ranger.
Okay.
I don't know if I'd stay with. Who's I forget which type of ranger he was. He was the oh Jesus, the one that jumps around in the shadows a lot.
Gloomstalker. Yeah.
So well, it turned into that. Originally it wasn't. But anyway, because I think with Pathfinder we switched it over. But either that or do some crazy magic like a wizard.
Nice.
Goblin wizard or something.
Oh man, a goblin. Level 20 wizard is actually the time when you're like, okay.
Yeah.
I finally feel a little safer.
Let's mess some stuff up.
I should have enough spells to at least survive past the first 2 or 3 rounds.
There's so many options. I mean, I don't know if I'd stay with a pure level 20 or not. So many. I'd probably make several characters and then try to figure out from there.
That's the fun of it is making the characters up and seeing. But so Dave, this is another thing to maybe consider even for ourselves. Maybe we'll run it, or I'll run it, and you can make the character up. And I would like to see a play dough just based on the fact that you're sitting at the table with 6 level 20 characters. Critical Role did have a series where the gods were infiltrating into the arcane tower. It was like around the time of the Sundering. I'm not really sure. The professor knows the story much better, but this was a good series. But they were all level 20 characters, and they were throwing around some big spells, a lot of hit points healing, some big magic, and they got more powerful. I don't know. I think it might be hard to run unless you kind of have seen it run before.
You're going with, I mean, if we all got in, it'd be us 3 plus 3 random. Somebody, there's a good chance no one's a cleric.
Yeah, or a lot more, maybe more intelligent level 20 cleric minotaur comes floating along.
That'd be hysterical. I mean, there's so that's the cool thing about this, since it's like it's like us versus the GM. It's very like you should be able to handle anything at this level. I'm not telling you anything. So it's kind of funny because it'd be funny if no one played a cleric, or I mean, there are enough healing spells out there, but not enough.
Yeah, you might have a couple hundred hit points, but a couple hundred hit points can go really fast too, right?
Yeah.
You get down to 99, and it's power word kill, and have a nice day.
Yeah, I always like druids too.
Yeah, well, I think that's a good place to end it. You can follow DM Evanson on Instagram at DM_Evanson. Give him a follow. You've been posting a lot of cool miniatures and everything. I've been enjoying it.
Yeah, I try to
You
prompt monster lore throughout the week.
Yeah,
Random monsters.
I like the
And
monster
miniatures
lore.
with them. And yeah.
You follow me, DM Roy at Dark Alchemy Limited. This is also our YouTube channel, Dark Alchemy. We're posting D&D content. We have a Sunday morning show where we like to talk about what's going on in the news and our current campaign, and we're reviewing all our characters currently. We do sell some miniatures on Etsy. You can find us on Etsy at Dark Alchemy Limited. Our next show is CradleCon, May 17th and 18th on Long Island. So stop by, say hi. We are going to try to, at least I am, that's one of the projects, is try to build that Monster Mash. I think that's something to work towards. It's going to take me a few months to get together, but I'm going to reach out to the Auto Red Shirts. They said they would share the information. We might even have the PDFs downloaded just to get everything out. Subscribing is the best way to help us. Like and subscribe and follow. And anything else about Gen Con you can think off the top of your head, Dave?
Oh, man, this could be so much. I'm probably going to do more of these live streams as we get closer and closer.
Awesome.
Looking at different genres of game that are there, because I'm probably going to be playing other RPG systems as well. I have like a little list of writing down, between Shadow Dark, Daggerheart, The Wandering, Draw Steel, Star Trek Adventures, and Arkham Horror and D&D. There's quite a lot to choose from. So
yeah. Of those you listed, besides D&D, is there, of the other ones you just said, is there a favorite there?
Well, Shadow Dark has got a lot of attention as of recently.
Okay.
It's a streamlined D&D style game. It could be used, I think, for like any type of like setting or something, but it's mainly like, from what I understand, it's like there's no like reactions. There's no is this a bonus action? Is this a reaction? What other actions do I have? It's like, no, we just got like actions, and you just have like, it's all streamlined, I think. So you don't like, there's no like, oh, this is only an action I can use as a reaction. All that's gone. So it's like, it's a little more easier to just like pick up and play, I guess, for like, I think they said like from massive dungeon crawls and stuff like that. It's good for. So I'm curious to see more. I know there's a lot on YouTube I've been trying to watch and just learn, but I know that's probably going to be big there.
Cool.
Looking to hopefully hear from if the creators in. I would love to talk and just get like the pitch. Other than that one, I would like to do Star Trek Adventures because it's just fun. There's 6-player ones. There's 8-player ones. Draw Steel is going to be there. They have 4-hour gameplays and 8-hour gameplays.
What's Draw Steel about? I haven't heard of that one.
That is the MGM. I think it's I always forget the initials, but it's Matt Cavill's gaming system. He is a writer and a game designer. He writes a lot of like game lore for characters in video games. He does a lot of that kind of writing, and he wrote a book. He also was big on YouTube on how to be a good DM and his own universe, and he did Strong Holds and Followers, that PDF that is out on like how to basically do bastions before bastions were a thing. And as well as castles and keeps, and has all those rules for that, which is really cool. So he created a RPG system. And for what I understand, it's the one that like you don't roll to hit. You just roll damage. It's more of a storytelling thing, I think.
Everybody's heroic. Sure. Everybody's heroic in hits. It's about story. You don't have 2 rounds or 3 rounds rolling ones. Although 2 or 3 rounds rolling ones is pretty hysterical. You laugh at your fellow gamers like, and then when you're about to die because of it, you get sad. Yeah.
So I'm curious to see that. Maybe get an intro. Daggerheart has an intro for 1 hour. That's the Critical Role one, and then it has a 4-hour session. So that's 5 hours if you want to do that. Maybe I just be cool with doing the intro for an hour just to get a taste.
Okay.
Other than that, anything else was just butter at that point. If I get to play anything extra, it'd be gravy. So.
Well, I gotta say, I do look forward to the board games, but we're our D&D channel, and I'll leave you with this. We're coming up on an hour. I do really enjoy, like you said, talking to different creators.
Hmm.
And in the last year, I talked to the creator of a D&D book called Tavern Tales, and it was their one shots. It was like 5 or 6, I don't know how many in there, a bunch of one shots that I do want to run, and it was just a really well done book, hardbound, matches the D&D books. Like you see behind me here, I have the D&D books.
Yeah.
Nice glossy cover, nice maps inside, new magic items, 1 or 2 classes, and just some good stories. I just enjoyed reading, the Tavern Tales book, and I got to meet the creators, and they signed it. I know you like having stuff signed; it's always nice. There's a lot of D&D content within the convention itself at the vendors tables, dice, books, maps. I mean, I love that stuff too.
Yeah. Again, I could probably spend a good 2 days just in the dealer floor, and probably still miss stuff.
So that's our live stream tonight. Thank you for joining us. If you're following us on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, we started having some episodes. We had our first episode put on the podcast. If you happen to follow us on there, and you can find Dark Alchemy Limited on YouTube, we would appreciate a subscription. We're trying to get to our 500 follower kind of checkpoint, and then we can go from there and try to grow the channel. So look for a Sunday morning where we'll be going over our next 2 characters, I think.
Feel free to reach out, comments, suggestions.
And if
input.
you want to reach out to Dave, again, one more time, follow him at DM Evanson @DM _Evanson
on all the
Instagram,
socials.
On all the socials, but mostly on Instagram myself. So, all right, Dave, have a great night. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you soon, sir.
Have a good one.
Bye.